So tell me, friends, where are you watching this from? Have you ever felt invisible in your own life? Drop a comment below. Like this video if Maya's story touched your heart, and subscribe because every week I bring you stories of strength, survival, and the courage to reclaim your life. You are not alone, and your story matters.
They say home is where the heart is, but what happens when the person you love most turns that home into a battlefield? I never thought I'd stand on the sidewalk, suitcase in hand, staring at the house I had built with my own sweat and savings, while the man I called my husband stood at the door, arms crossed, telling me I had no right to be there. His words were sharp, cold, final. Get out. This is my house now. I felt my heart crack, not because of the betrayal, not even because of the disrespect, but because in that moment, I realized something far worse. He had forgotten who I really was. And sometimes the cruelest thing a person can do is erase your existence while standing on the foundation you built for them. My name is Aisha, and this is the story of how I lost everything and then remembered my worth. Let me take you back 7 years. I was 24, fresh out of university, full of dreams, and foolishly in love. His name was Rafai. Tall, charming, the kind of man who could make you feel like the only woman in the world with just a smile. We met at a friend's wedding. He was a distant cousin of the groom. I was a bridesmaid. Our eyes met across the hall, and I swear it felt like one of those movie moments. He walked over. We talked all night. Within 3 months, we were engaged. Within 6, we were married. Everyone said it was too fast. My mother warned me, Aisha beta, love is beautiful, but marriage needs more than butterflies. I didn't listen. I thought love was enough. Rafai worked in sales. His income was decent, but unstable. Some months were great, others were dry. I, on the other hand, had a stable job as a senior accountant at a multinational firm. I earned well, saved smartly. When we got married, Rafai moved into my small rented apartment. It was cozy, manageable, but he wanted more. Aisha, he'd say, lying beside me at night, I want us to have our own house, a place that's truly ours, where we can raise our children, build our future. His voice was soft, vulnerable. How could I say no? So I started planning. I saved aggressively, cut down on luxuries, stopped buying clothes, skipped dinners with friends. Every rupee went into our house fund. Rafai contributed too, but his amounts were smaller, inconsistent. Still, I didn't mind. I believed we were building something together. After 2 years of saving, I finally had enough for a down payment. We bought a small house on the outskirts of the city. 2 bedrooms, a modest kitchen, a tiny lawn. It wasn't a mansion, but it was ours. Or so I thought. The house was registered in both our names. 50-50, equal partners. That's what the papers said. But here's what the papers didn't say. 85% of the down payment came from my savings. The monthly mortgage, I paid 70%. The furniture, mine. The renovations, mine. The small garden Rafai loved to show off to guests, I planted every single flower. But I never kept count because I loved him. And love, I thought, wasn't about who paid more. Things started changing in the 3rd year of our marriage. Slowly, quietly, Rafai began coming home late. His phone was always on silent. He became distant. When I asked him what was wrong, he'd brush me off. Nothing, Aisha, just work stress. But I could feel it. The coldness, the irritation in his tone whenever I spoke. Then his mother moved in. At first, I was okay with it. She was widowed, alone. Rafai was her only son. It's temporary, he promised, just until she feels better. Temporary turned into permanent.
And that's when everything shifted. His mother, Nasreen Auntie, was difficult. She criticized everything I did. The way I cooked, the way I dressed, the way I managed the house. Rafai deserves better, she'd mutter under her breath. At first, I tried to win her over. I cooked her favorite meals, I respected her space, I smiled through her taunts. But nothing was ever enough. And Rafai? He said nothing. He watched, silent, complicit. One evening, I came home exhausted from work. I had a major presentation the next day. I needed to prepare, but Nasreen Auntie was waiting for me at the door. "You didn't clean the kitchen this morning." I blinked. "Auntie, I was running late. I'll do it after." "Running late?" she cut me off. "You think your job is more important than this house?" I didn't say that. Rafai works too, but he never complains. I wanted to scream. Rafai's job involved meetings and client calls. Mine involved deadlines, audits, and 12-hour shifts. But I stayed silent, because I didn't want to disrespect her. That night, I told Rafai how I felt. "Your mother is crossing boundaries." He sighed, didn't even look up from his phone. "She's just trying to help, Aisha. Don't be so sensitive." Sensitive. That word stung more than anything his mother had said.
Months passed. The tension grew thicker. I started feeling like a stranger in my own home. Nasreen Auntie rearranged the furniture without asking me. She invited relatives over without telling me. She even changed the locks on the kitchen cabinets. "So you don't waste things," she said sweetly. I was suffocating. And then, one day, I overheard a conversation. I had come home early. The house was quiet. I thought no one was there. But then I heard voices from the bedroom. Rafai and his mother. I stood outside the door, listening. "You need to be firm with her, Rafai," Nasreen Auntie said. "She thinks she owns this place." "She does own half of it, Ami," Rafai replied, but his tone was weak. "Half?" she scoffed. "Who cares about papers? You're the man of the house. This is your house, your name, your respect." Silence. Then Rafai spoke. "You're right." My heart stopped. She's been too comfortable. Maybe it's time she remembers her place. I couldn't breathe. I backed away from the door, walked to the living room, sat down, numb. That night, I didn't sleep. I replayed his words over and over. Your house, your name, your respect. As if I was nothing. As if I hadn't sacrificed, hadn't built, hadn't loved. Something inside me broke, but I didn't cry. I just stared at the ceiling, wondering how I had become so invisible.
It happened on a Friday evening. I came home to find Rafai and his mother sitting in the living room. There were papers on the table, legal documents. My stomach dropped. "What's going on?" I asked. Rafai didn't look at me. His mother spoke instead. "Sit down, Aisha." I didn't move. "We've been talking," she continued, "and we think it's best if you move out." I laughed. It was a hollow, bitter sound. "Move out? Of my own house?" "It's not your house," she said coldly. "It's Rafai's house. It's in both our names. Names don't matter. Rafai paid for this house. Rafai is the man. This is his property." I turned to Rafai. "Say something." He finally looked up. His eyes were empty. "She's right, Aisha. I think it's better if you leave." The room spun. "You're kicking me out? Don't make this harder than it needs to be." I felt the tears coming, but I held them back. "I paid for this house, Rafai. 85% of the down payment, 70% of the mortgage, every piece of furniture, every—" "You're exaggerating," he said, his voice flat. "I have the bank statements. I don't care about your statements. This is my house, my decision. Now leave." I stood there, frozen. Then I walked to the bedroom, packed a single suitcase, and left. I stayed at a friend's place for a week. Numb, hollow, broken.
But then something shifted. Anger. Raw, burning, pure. I had given everything to that house, to that man, and he had thrown me out like I was nothing. But he had forgotten one crucial thing. The mortgage was still in my name. The utilities were in my name. The property tax receipts, all in my name. And I had every single bank statement, every receipt, every proof of payment. I contacted a lawyer, a sharp, no-nonsense woman named Advocate Saima. I showed her everything. She smiled. He made a big mistake. Within 2 days, we filed a case, partition of property, financial documentation, evidence of contribution. Rafai was served legal notice. He called me, furious. What the hell are you doing? Getting back what's mine. You can't do this. Watch me. I hung up. For the first time in months, I felt powerful.
The case took 3 months. Rafai tried everything. He claimed he had paid more, but he had no proof. His mother tried to intimidate me, but I didn't back down. The judge reviewed the evidence, bank statements, transfer receipts, mortgage papers. Everything pointed to one truth. I had paid for that house. The judge's verdict was clear. The property will be divided based on actual financial contribution. Mrs. Aisha is entitled to 85% ownership. Rafai's face went pale. His mother screamed, but the law didn't care about their pride. I was given the option to buy him out or sell the house and split the proceeds. I chose the latter. I didn't want that house anymore. It was tainted. The house sold quickly. I received my share. Rafai received his. It was over.
I'm writing this now from my own apartment. Smaller than the house, but it's mine. Fully, completely, undeniably mine. People ask me if I regret fighting back. I don't, because I learned something important. Your worth is not defined by how much someone loves you. It's defined by how much you respect yourself. Rafai thought he could erase me. He thought that because he was a man, the house was his by default. But he forgot. Respect isn't given. It's built. And so is a home. I built that house, brick by brick, payment by payment. And when he tried to take it from me, I stood my ground. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I deserved better. If you're reading this and you feel invisible, unheard, unappreciated, remember, you are not nothing. You are the builder of your own life, and no one has the right to kick you out of what you created. Stand tall, fight back, and never, ever forget your worth, because the world might forget who you are, but you should never forget, ever.